Hello, welcome to Flashy Toots, and in this video we'll be looking at tweening. What is a tween, you're probably asking? Well, a tween is a shortcut. Frame by frame animating can be laborious at the best of times, and sometimes it can't be avoided. But when it can be, tweening is the process that we use to get around it. There are three different types of tweens: a shape tween, a classic tween, and a motion tween. Let me show you the difference. So if I come up here, make myself a ball, and plonk it down on the stage, if I want to change its position, for example, from where it is to over here, as it plays through now, it just jumps. However, if I right click and click shape tween, you'll see that the bar has now gone green with an arrow driving through it. This means that the ball will gradually move. However, shape tweening isn't confined to just position of objects. For example, on frame 20, if I now change its shape, and let's say its color as well, when we go through the timeline, it will slowly morph into the brand new shape and color we've given it on frame 20. This is unique to shape tweening. A shape tween can only be used on an object which isn't a symbol, although you can go into a symbol to produce this sort of tween. Let me show you what I mean. So if we make a new layer, come back here to frame 1, it's going to hide this layer 1 for a moment. Let's make another ball. Now, if I select that ball and turn it into a symbol, ball, and we have our classic cyan colored box surrounding our symbol. I wanted to do the same, so let's click on frame 20, insert a keyframe, and then right click. You can see that shape tween has been grayed out. It's not an option that's been given to us. However, if I double click on the symbol and I go inside of the symbol's own timeline, click frame 20, insert a keyframe, and move its position and change its shape, and color, you can see that when I click on the timeline, I'm now given the option to shape tween. I can cycle through it, and as I go back to scene 1, the animation will also play out for me. Let's get rid of that. Come back to layer 1. I'll remove the tween. Now I'll clear these frames. Oh, excuse me. I will remove the frames. Clear this frame. So, that was the shape tween. Again, remember, you cannot use it directly on a symbol unless you go inside of a symbol. And it can be used to change a object's position, color, and shape. Next we have classic. Again, let's draw another ball. Relocate its position by frame 20. Again, it will jump. If we right click and choose classic tween, when I click on the ball again, you can see that it's now being converted into a symbol for us. This means that classic tweens cannot be performed on any object unless it's been converted into a symbol. It doesn't matter what type of symbol it is, but it has to be a type of symbol. As you can see now that we've inserted the classic tween, it has changed its location, but can also change its size. So you can do something like having a ball fading off into the distance, or shooting at you. Now let's take a look at the motion tween. Now the motion tween works a little bit differently to the shape tween and the classic tween. Let's start by making another ball and inserting a frame on frame 20. What we can do now is right click on the bar, create motion tween, and you'll be greeted by this window. The selected item cannot be tweened. You must convert this to a symbol in order to tween. Do you want to convert to create a tween? Click OK. And you'll see that the bar has changed colour. If I were to add a new layer, you can see that the colour of the timeline bar for layer 1 is now cyan, around the same colour as the box that surrounds the symbol. Now the way that you tween with a motion tween is a little bit differently to a shape tween or a classic tween. What you do is you move the scrub bar over to whichever frame you'd like the position of the object to change. Let's say frame 10. We're then going to grab the ball and bring it over. Now you should see on the timeline a small black dot. It's actually the shape of a diamond. Something else you should also notice is on the stage there is now a green dotted line visible. That dotted line is the tracked path of the object. So as you go through the frames, you can see that that ball now travels along that dotted path. And again, if we go on frame 20 and move the position of the ball up, you can see the ball actually moves and bounces up. Now what's unique with motion tweens is the fact that you're able to affect the actual trajectory. So if I were to move the mouse close to the line, you should see that we get the same curved symbol as if we wanted to manipulate a stroke. If we click on it, we're able to bend it. If we click on the dot, we're able to rearrange the dot. And this obviously directly affects the trajectory of the object. Okay, now that we've had a chance to look at the three different tweens, shape, classic and motion, the task I'd provide you, so you can get more acquainted with the different types of tweens, would be to make 3 separate layers with 3 different balls on the layers and using the 3 different tweens to animate them. As you can see here, I have a motion layer with a motion tween. I have a shape layer with a shape tween. And I have a classic layer with a classic tween. Remember, it's always good practice to name your symbols, your layers, everything you can to distinguish it from other objects in your animation. It just makes it a little bit easier for you to remember what exactly you're doing. Once you have mastered using the different tweens for different situations, you'll know enough basic animation techniques to start producing your own work. I'd like to say thank you very much on behalf of Flashy Tunes. Take care.